Forgiveness is justice. We must demand for justice, and justice is paying for repatriation. Justice is paying for all that we have stolen and returning it back to us. That is what we are asking for. Our artifacts, we need them back. Everything that you have taken from us, we need them.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the African Unite Force. If you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so.
Yeah, don't mind my face, okay? I just finished working out, so I decided to bring this message to you. All right. So let's talk about forgiveness in the African setting. Okay. Now, is forgiveness African or it is un-African? Now let's go back to ancient African way of ruling or governance, right? And then we are going to compare it with modern day African democratic leaders. All right. Now, during the ancient times in Africa, we had kings, right? We had kings, and were these kings were crowned by either bloodline, or they were crowned by means of the gods choosing them, right? Now, there is a person who does the crowning, and that is who we call the chief priest. All right, the chief priest in the southeastern part of Nigeria, they call them, which is the Igbo culture, they call them Ezemo. Now these Ezemo, right, they consult the gods and bring message to the king, okay, to the crowned king. Now kings, if you want to compare them with modern day leaders, they should be president, right? They should be president. They are up there like they should be president. Now, we know that the kings are men of integrity. They are men of their words. The kings, people respect them because they keep to their words, right? Now, let's assume that there was a crime that was committed. There was a crime that was committed between two persons, right? Let's say rape. Now, the king will summon these two people, you know, and we all know that rape is a big deal today in Africa. Pedophilia is a big deal today in Africa. And we are not only dealing with internal pedophilias, we are also dealing with external pedophilias. I mean, pedophiles from Europe coming into Africa and, you know, messing with our younger ones, right? With our little babies. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Now, when these two people are being summoned are being summoned before the king, right? Now, two things: the king will hear from them, from both of them, right? And then they will give them the chance to confess if either of them is guilty or if they are lying, right? Now, I want you to know that swearing was part of African culture, and it was like part of our life. We swear a lot. What I mean swearing is not that is a kind of oath taking, right? Like oath. When you say I didn't do this, I swear I'm not the one who did this. That's the kind of swearing I'm talking about. I'm not talking about cursing, right? Now the Ezemo will consult the gods. When the Ezemo consult the gods, if you fail to confess before the king, and then then the Ezemo has come to the Ezemo comes, and you're not saying anything, right? You don't need to say anything because the gods is going to reveal, and this is the repercussion. There is always repercussion, no forgiveness. Now, you will be you will be strike dead, or you will run mad, meaning you will lose your sanity. There is no forgiveness. Africans are always conscious of justice. But today in our society, they teach you to forgive. And what is forgiveness? Your religion tells you that when they slap you on this cheek, you better turn the next cheek for them to give you a very hot slap. And if it is not hot enough, give them this one. Africans, forgiveness should be justice, as it has always been part of the African tradition. Forgiveness is karma, instant karma. We do not take it for granted or lightly, right? So, crimes were very low during the ancient times because people were afraid, because they know that they will not be forgiven. People were afraid to commit crime. They think about the repercussion before they try to do anything stupid, right? But today, our leaders, they know very well that we won't do nothing. We will always forgive them. So they will tell you, please forgive me for my inability to perform, to serve you. I'm going to do better. What makes you think that their failure of serving you better today is a guarantee that they're going to serve you better tomorrow? What is the guarantee? And we know Africans will forgive them. We say, oh, they've asked for forgiveness. Let's just forgive them. And the oppression begins, and the oppression continues. The poverty continues. They're only watching out for themselves. We all know history had it, or history has always had it, that religion has always been politicized, right? Our brothers and sisters are being killed in the United States of America. And what is happening? They are forgiving them. They are forgiving the oppressors. Religion taught you not to fight back. Religion has taught you not to defend yourself because they bring in forgiveness. Forgiveness is justice. Forgiveness is standing for the truth. We have been battered, shattered for decades, right? A lot is happening to us, yet we are forgiving. We are not demanding for change. These African leaders today, they know that there is no repercussion. The gods are not going to do anything because what? We neglected our spirituality and we embraced religion. And religion has damaged our critical minds to think for ourselves, right? To think for ourselves. Religion has made you not to hold your leaders responsible. You're always forgiving. That is an error. In fact, forgiveness is a sin. You must see towards justice. Again, to the African spirituality, right? Where if someone steals, you're summoned before the gods, the shrine, to go and swear. And if you're found guilty, you're dropping dead immediately. You're running mad instantly. So people knew the repercussion and they refused and they feared. They are afraid to commit these crimes. They are afraid to do certain things that they know it will hurt other people. Crimes were very low. But today, religion has crippled us. Religion has brought about huge poverty in our society. We all know that rape is a big deal in the continent of Africa. We all know that, we are harboring these things. There is no outrage at all. And these people keep on hurting and making our society unsafe. are we going to stand up and demand for change? When are we going to say enough is enough? It's because of forgiveness that our black brothers and sisters in America are dying up until this moment. It's because religion taught them to forgive and not to fight for justice. So for decades, they've been forgiving. They forgive the person that kills their mother. They forgive that man that killed their sister, their brother. They tell them, I forgive you, and they hug them. What stupidity is that? No, forgiveness is un-African. If we go back to our ancient tradition, our ancient rulership, there was nothing like forgiveness. It's either you're banished from the community and nobody will talk to you, nobody will trade with you. That is the repercussion. There is always repercussion. Where there is no repercussion, the people misbehave, just like the present day leaders. And let's review democracy. They brought democracy. Is democracy African or un-African? That story is for other days. That story is for other days. I want us to think. I want us to think. If you ask me, let's go back to our Asian tradition. Because those are the things that people fear and respect. Right? But with religion, anything goes. That's why our leaders are suppressing us, oppressing us. They have no empathy. They lack empathy. This is what our leaders, they do. They are very mindful of the West. They are very mindful of what the West think of them. They don't want to be blacklisted by the West. Right? They're saying, oh, let us not do this so that the West will not think of us like this. Oh, let's be mindful when dealing with the West so that they will not. Is the West thinking about you when they're making their own decision? No. Instead of you African leaders to have that curiosity and that fear towards your people and say, oh, let us not do this so our people will not think of us as people of no integrity. Let us not do these things so that our people will not think that we are not capable. But no, you have zero respect for your people, but you respect foreigners. You respect your oppressors. For how long will this continue? For how long will this continue? Forgiveness and apology is not enough. They're apologizing those who have oppressed us for so long. No, we don't need apology. We don't need apology. We are demanding for the right thing to be done. You will pay. When I mean by pay, in resources, of course. For slavery, you will pay. You should pay repatriation. Don't just say, we are asking for forgiveness. What are forgiveness? We can eat it. You know? We don't need your forgiveness. What you should do the right thing. Pay repatriation and leave us the hell alone. That's all we are asking for. That's all we are asking for. Our brothers and sisters in the States have been suffering for decades. And these corrupt African leaders who are suppressing their own people in the continent, you know, treating them like they are nothing. How can they even extend a hand of help and demand these people to pay repatriation? These leaders or rulers, they look out for themselves. Let's go back to the time of Amadioha. You know, they don't play. Those girls don't play. Even the seat of presidency, people will be scared to come and sit down. Because when they think of their inability to perform, they want to, of their, you know, their deceitful ways, and they want to come and to deceive the people and come and sit down there. When they think of how sitting down there is costing you your life, they will be afraid. But what I'm saying is, let's stop forgiving our enemies. They come in all colors. I don't care if they're dark brown, white, yellow, red, whatever. Because we have enemies in dark skin. And these are the rulers we have in Africa, who have zero empathy for their people. And yet we keep forgiving them because of religion. We keep forgiving them. And what are they doing? They have brought about poverty. They have made sure that we are not in charge of our natural resources. Forgiveness is a sin. The reason why our oppressors has been oppressing us for decades, and up until now they're still oppressing us, and that the reason they've taught you forgiveness is because they want you to forgive them for slavery, forgive them for colonization, forgive them for all that they have done wrong to you. No, forgiveness is a sin. Forgiveness is justice. We must demand for justice, and justice is paying for repatriation. Justice is paying for all that you have stolen and returning it back to us. That is what we are asking for. Our artifacts, we need them back. Everything that you have taken from us, we need them back. And leave our fertile soil for us to be the one to, to, to manage it. We have all the intellect. We have everything, the manpower, the human resource. We have everything to manage our resources. So let's demand for justice. Justice is forgiveness. And stop forgiving your oppressors. Enough of this. Enough is enough. It is time to demand for change. It is time to unite and fight for the right cause. Let's stop all these excuses. Religion has done more